So if I swap my x and y, I've got x equals 6, and it'll be y minus 4 cubed minus 3. Add the 3. This is the part where you got to be really careful. Make sure you do it in the right order. We kind of work furthest away from the variable as possible. So we're going to add the 3. And then I'm left with 6 minus y minus 4 cubed. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/6. And the reasoning behind that is I want it to look like, I want it to be in graphing form. So I don't want it to be dividing by 6. Then we're going to, now we've got our cubic all by itself. So we're going to cube root it. So I'm going to get the cube root. When you write this, you need to make sure that 6 is underneath your radical. If it is not, then yours is going to be incorrect. Do we? And then we're going to do add the 4. So I'm going to have the cube root 1/6 x plus 3 plus 4. Make sure that is outside. Is that correct? What are you going to lose points for? Yep. It needs to be y inverse. If it's not y inverse, you're going to lose points. Can I do anything with that 1/6 with regards to taking the cube root of it? The slowest answer ever. No. What if it were 1/27? Then I could pull out 1/3. Okay. So this apparently is our inverse. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to your calculator. Home one, no. No. Home one, no. And let's do home one. No. I want to go to a graph, and I want you to type in the original function. So we're going to type in 6 parentheses x minus 4. Cubed, do you know where to find the cubed? It's right there at control and the caret. You got to put the little 3 there. What did I do? Ignore me. That's not for this one. You just do the little caret. No control. And why do I have a cube? I'm dying here. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about this cubic for a minute. Is it a function? How do you know by looking at the graph if it is or is not a function? How do you know by looking at the graph if it is a function? It passes the vertical line test. If I cross my pencil, it'll only touch it once, right? Okay, now I want to know if it's invertible. What do I mean by invertible? The inverse will also be a function. How can I look at this graph and know that the inverse is also a function? So then I'm going to take my pencil and go this way. So is it invertible? Yes. This right here looks like it's going to hit twice, but it's not. It's continuing to go up. Okay? So we've got that it's invertible, which means both are a function. There's another way they say it's 1-to-1. Why do you think they say 1-to-1? There's 1x for every y. There's 1y for every x. That way, when I take those and I flip them, there's no repeating, correct? Okay, so now I want to graph its inverse that we just found and see if we did it right. So hit tab. We're going to go do the cube root, which now is control caret. And then you can put in your little 3 and type in whatever you got going on. Make sure when you do your +4 that you are outside. At this point, you may want to graph the, what is it that they're symmetrical across if they're inverses. So let's hit tab, and let's put X. Does it look like if you folded that y equals x line that those would touch? Looks like it. How else could we tell? Do you think we could go to the table and check? What about this? Do hit menu, trace, and do graph trace. What does the graph equal if you put in 4? Did you get -3? Okay. So then on the red one, it should be -3, 4, correct? So I'm going to hit the up arrow, which will take me to the red one. And now I'm going to type in -3. Did you get -3, 4? Yay! So that's another way we could check it, right? We okay with all that? Okay. Let's look at the other one. The other one's going to go the other direction. So now I'm talking about going from a cube root to a cubic. So step number 1, we're going to swap our x and y. When you look at this, there's not a whole lot going on. Starting on the outside, we've got 1/2. How do we take 1/2 and turn it into a 1? So I got 2x equals the cube root of y plus 5. Our cubic and cube root, nope. Our cube root is by itself. How do I make a cube root go away? Cube it. So that means I'm going to cube 2x, and then this will just come outside of the cube. And then we can subtract the 5. What's 2 cubed? Don't forget your -1. We okay with that? Okay, so why don't you graph both of those and let's see if we did it right. So anytime we're finding inverses, we're also going to practice proving. Here's where we get into a little bit of trouble. First of all, you have to tell me what you're proving. If you just start plugging stuff in and you don't tell me, oh, hey, Miss Moon, I'm doing f of g of x, I don't even grade it. It's just wrong. You're showing me that you're proving that if I plug in g of x to f, I'm going to get an answer of x. And if you don't even tell me what you did, how can you be proving it? So I'm going to take f. I'm going to write the entire thing. Y'all are going to like this, but it's definitely important. I'm going to write the entire thing. And then I'm going to plug g into it. The reason I do this is because as you get higher and higher in math, there's more than one x value in there. And the second x value never gets plugged into. It just gets left as an x. So now I'm going to take my g and I'm going to put it inside. So I'm going to do 1/3. I totally didn't give myself enough place. I got x minus 7, tiny, tiny, tiny. And then I got a plus 4 in here, which you cannot see. Okay, so what's going to happen first? Everybody agree? So then my first step is going to be the cube root of 3. And then I'm going to have a 1/3 x minus 7. Minus 7, and that's cubed. 1/3, that's cubed. I'm not even there. I haven't finished writing it yet. Plus 4. Oh, no, the 4's gone. Plus 7. Couldn't see what I had written, so it's hard to tell. At this point, are your cube root and cube by themselves? Nope, you still got these 3's inside. So then we're going to say the cube root of x minus 7 cubed plus 7. Huh? You know what the answer is and you get there. So then my cube and cubic will go away and I get x minus 7 plus 7. It does. So therefore, yes, but we're not done. We have to do it the other way. If you skip any one of these steps, it's just wrong. Okay? You can't put 2 steps in one. You have to do every single one of those lines. So then you've got to do it now the other way. But when you do it the other way, once again, you've got to tell me. So now we're going to do g of f of x. So my g is 1/3. I'm going to give myself a bigger space for x this time, so I'm not stuck doing that. So I've written out all of g. And now I just need to take f and put it inside. So we got the cube root of 3, x minus 4. Make sure when you write this that the stuff is underneath the radical, Okay, so looking at this one, what do you think is going to be the first thing we're going to do? Our 7s will cancel, which will leave me with 1/3 parentheses cube root 3 x minus 4. Wait, yeah. Now what? The cubes cancel. So I'm left with 1/3, 3 x minus 4 plus 4. The third and the 3. So I'm left with x minus 4 plus 4. And then you get x. So yay, they are inverses. You have proved it. Once again, same scenario stands. If you skip any one of these, if you try to double them up, it's wrong. You might get points for the original setup, but the minute you get off, you're going to miss the whole rest. Keeping in mind, if it does not begin with this, it doesn't even get graded. It's just automatically wrong. Because how do I grade it? Now you're telling me, oh, I just stuck this inside of this, but you're not telling me what you did. So, okay. Questions about that?